Hello, thank you so much for joining this video tutorial. This is lesson 8, UFT data-driven testing for beginners. In this lesson, we will build our second automation test script and execute it. After that, we'll just analyze the test results. Today's lesson is divided into 11 parts. Part 1 will review the manual test case. Part 2 will understand the flow of user actions. Part 3 will create a blank test, add it to the solution. Part 4 will add the blank actions to the GUI test. Part 5 will review the flow. Part 6, 7, 8, 9 will automate all the actions. Part 10 and 11 will run the test and then analyze the test result. So before I can move on, I'd like to show you the diagram framework. So where we are now. We built this piece. We created the first script and then of the repository. We did not do anything yet for this data source. And today we're working on the second script, and that's the script we are working on, and we are building. As we create the script, we're also going to have the local object repositories. We are not going to have any data table as of yet. Not from today's lesson. So now that we know our goal for today, so let us review the manual test case. So let's go to traceability metrics. We wrote a test case before. This is the one we will be working on today. Requirement 3 says system shall allow registered users to book a flight. That's the test case ID now. And the summary is system shall allow all registered users to book a flight using valid data. And this is a scenario that we will be automating today. And as for test case, to review the test case, book a flight. And you can see here, let me move this out of the way. So we wrote test case here. This step, first step job is to launch the browser. Step 2 to 4, login, complete the login. Step 6 to 13, complete the book a flight. And step 14 and 15, click sign off, close the browser. So, I'm done with the reviewing the test case. We already navigated the application as we wrote the test case, so I will not be navigating the application today when I review the test case. So let me go back to my outline. So I'm done with the part 1. For the part 2, understand the flow of user actions. So I created this table. This test, book a flight, consists of 4 user actions: open Mercury, login, book a flight, exit Mercury. So again, these are just 4 user actions. You can come up with more actions if you like. So I have these 4 actions. And the flow would be, we need to be able to open the Mercury application first, then log in, then book a flight, complete the booking a flight, and after finally just exit the application. So you can see from this table, step 1 of the manual test case are for open Mercury action, for login action, step 2 to 5, for book a flight action, step 6 to 13, for exit Mercury action, step 14 to 13. Open Mercury action, we do not need test data, so I said no. Login action, we need test data, so I said yes. Book a flight action, yes, we need test data. Exit Mercury, we do not need any test data. So let us, so now that I actually understand the part 2, What should we do next? We should do the part 3. Create a blank new GUI test and add it to the solution. I have this diagram that I showed you before. We already have done creating this piece. And today, we'll be working on this piece right here. And then we'll talk about this calling. So let me give you a high level what is happening here. Mercury registration script. We have open Mercury, Mercury register, and exit Mercury. For book a flights, we also have open Mercury. You can see right here, open Mercury, and we also have exit Mercury. Same as right here, open Mercury, exit Mercury. So this arrow simply shows that open Mercury already automated. Don't automate again. Just call this open Mercury action of the registration test. Same thing for exit Mercury. This exit Mercury job is to call the exit Mercury of the application. That's why there's an arrow showing there. So let me remove all this. You can see there's an arrow going here. So that means this exit Mercury will call this exit Mercury. Open Mercury will call this open Mercury. So again, today we'll be working on this piece and then adding all the small boxes that you see inside. So one for each user action. Okay, next, what you can do is that now that I understand what I need to do, create a blank test. Let's go to UFT. Select our solution, which is, we need to put it inside this solution and right click, add new test. And then for this test, give a name, book flights. And then click add. Once I click add, as you can see, book flights as just add it. As we added, a default action, default blank action also get created. If you double click that, you will see there's nothing there. It's just a blank action. So what I'm going to do next, I go back to my outline here. I'm done with part 3. Let's do part 4. Add blank actions to the GUI test. I already broke down my test into 4 user actions. So I like to have my 4 actions, same order that we see it here. Okay, so let us go back there. This is action 1, you can see already added. So why not I just rename this? I would like to say open Mercury. Then click yes. Then right click again. I'm going to say call to new action. This one I would like to say login. Click OK. Right click, add new action. This one I would like to say book a flight. Book a flight. Click OK. And then lastly, I have one more action to add, exit Mercury. So let's say exit Mercury and click OK. So, and save it. So what I did, I simply added these 4 blank action. 1, 2, 3, 4 in this order. So now I like to go back to my document. Let's go step by step, see what I'm supposed to do next. So we finished part 4. Now review the flow. So when I say review the flow, it simply means that When I execute the test, which order these actions will be executed. So click the plus here and double click my test, which is this. And as you can see the flow, same flow that I have it in the table. Open Mercury, login, book a flight, exit Mercury. So we are good. So we added four blank actions, and we reviewed the test flow. Part 6, start automating. Automate Open Mercury action by calling. So what I mean by that is, Open Mercury action, as I explained, already automated. I don't need to automate again for book flights test. All I'm going to do from here, I like to call this guy right here. Okay, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So how can I call? To call, so first thing first, understand what we're doing. Mercury register, we already automated, which has Open Mercury, which job is to launch the application. And today we are going to say, call this Open Mercury from this. So how can I call from here, from one test to another test, to another action? So right click, I selected first, and then click this drop down, and you can see there is option called call to existing action. So I click on it, and then because this action is stored under registration, so that's the registration, right? So I'm going to select register. And then, one second, I want to make sure I'm selecting the right test. I think this is the test. We have to move this registration test to this test. That was my mistake. We're going to talk about it later. That's fine. I mean, that part I'll take care of that. This test should be under registration, automation test scripts. So for right now, this is the one we'll be working on, Mercury _ registration, and then drop down Open Mercury. After that, ensure this option is selected, click OK. So what I did right now, let me go back here. Did I do it right? Let me comment it out. Do it again. Right click, and then, right click, not right click. Select this Open Mercury, and then click here, call to existing action. And I like to call, I'm not sure, okay, right here. And then click, select Open Mercury. After the current step is selected, click OK. Okay. Okay, this is good. And then click Save. Once I click Save, let me double click Book Flights. I like to see how the flow looks like. I think something is wrong here. That's not what I expected. Let me select this. I'm not sure why. Okay, what about this one? This is not right. Okay, let me double click is good. So why would I'm calling from here, selecting this, and then I like to say that book flights, why would not add it here. I'm not sure. So I guess let us click this. Let me zoom it so you can see it. Right, select this open marketing. We are going to call open marketing action for registration test. So open marketing, call to existing action. And we're going to select our test, which is this one. And inside this test, we're going to select open marketing. And then we wanted to make sure that we have this option selected. Click OK. And then you can see there is action here. Let's see what it added. Let's double click that. And we can see it added the right place. So that means that open marketing action of book flights. So we are under book flights. That's the flow we are seeing. And we wanted to say that during execution, open marketing action of book flights test should call open marketing action of registration test. So let's go back to our document. So we needed to automate open marketing action by calling. We have done that. Next thing we have to do is part 7, automate login action by recording. So first thing first, let us double click login. You can see we have nothing here because we have not automated. And this is a new action. We have not automated login action before. So we'll have to create this, automate this action from scratch. So go to, let's open up the application. So our application is open. Before I do anything with this part, let us understand the steps. You can see login action. Login action, step 2 to 5. So that means if I go back to my manual test case, and you will see that step 2 to 5. So what step 2 does, enter username, 3, enter password, 4, click the sign in button. And this step, I'll leave this as homework for you. You can add that step yourself. So I like to go back to my document here. So step 2 to 5, login action. And now that I understand what steps need to be automated, let me click the record button here. That's the start recording. Click OK. And then enter username, enter password, click sign in. So I was able to sign in. Now let's stop recording. And this step, I do not need that. Let's delete that. And now let's review the steps. You can see this step is entering the username. This step is entering the password. This is encrypted password. And this step is clicking sign in. So I automated login action. If I go back to my document again, so I'm done with part 7. Part 8, automate book a flight action by recording. Again, to do that first, you can see book a flight, step 6 to 13. So let me go to test case and see what are the steps 6 to 13. It says click continue button. verify, select flight, pages displayed. Click continue button. Verify, book a flight, pages displayed. Enter first name, last name, credit card number. Click the secure purchase button. I will not automate the verified, select flight page and verify, book a flight, maybe another steps of these two steps, verify, book a flight and verify, select a flight. I leave this as homework for you. So what do I do next? Now that I understand the steps, I'd like to open up my UFT and select book flight right here. As you can see, I have nothing here. So let's start automating this. Now that I understand the steps, click the record button. I'm on the recording mode. What do I have to do? Click continue. I'm just accepting all the default values. Click continue. I'm also accepting the default values on this page. Click continue. And here I like to enter first name, last name, and then enter credit card number. Just enter a dummy number here and click secure purchase. And you can insert a checkpoint to ensure that this page is displayed. And I leave this homework for you. You can just play with that and add other validations, some validations, a lot of validations you can add. So I'm done. Click the stop button. So now that I automated this book a flight action, let's review the script. You can see first step is to click the find flights continue button. Second, continue button again, it shows different label. And then enter first name, enter last name, credit card number, and click secure purchase. So I'm done with part, what number that was? Part 8. Now let's do the part 9. Automate exit marker reaction by calling. So that means that if I go back to this document, so we are dealing with right now this guy. Exit marker already automated here before. So we'll be calling from exit marker here. We'll be calling from here too, sorry. We'll be calling from this one to there. So that means that we already automated exit marker. You can see, double click that, you can see it's already automated right here. So, and if you click this exit marker under book flights, double click that, you can see it's blank. So we'll be calling from here to there. So let's select this action and then I hope it's going to work. Call to existing action. We like to select Mercury registration and exit Mercury already selected. And after the current step is selected, click OK. Once I click OK, let's double click this one and see what happened. You can see it's just fine. Open Mercury. That's the flow of the actions. If I execute the book flights test right now, it will execute in this order. Open Mercury action will call open Mercury action of registration test. Login is a standalone action. It's just going to log in for us. Book a flight also a standalone action. It's just going to complete the book a flight. Exit Mercury action again going to call exit Mercury action of Mercury registration test. So now that I automated all the actions and I automated all the actions plus I called, some of them I automated and some of them I recorded by automated all, and I understand the flow of the action. Why not I run the script and see it works? So let me go back to my document to ensure I'm on the right track. So run the book flight test. In order to run the test, what I have to do next is, I would say, in order to run the test, just for right now, let's just close the browser. So I closed the browser. The next thing to do, see, do I need to do anything else before I run the script? I guess I'm good. First, let me save it. And then let's click run. See what happens. So we launched the application. It's going to call the login action. It completes the book a flight. It's done. It worked just fine as expected. So let me go back to my document, see what I did here. What's next should be done. So I'm done with this test, running the test, analyze the test result. So in order to analyze, you can see, let me expand it. I hope you can see it. You can see iteration 1. Again, this is data-driven tutorial, so I mainly want to focus on the test data steps. So you can see that username. So first, OpenMercury. It called OpenMercury action or registration test. Then it entered the username, password, and these are the data here. That's the password, encrypted password. And this is the username. That's my login action. Now it's the book a flight action. For the book a flight action, let's see the data. You can see we enter test, first name, and then last name, credit card numbers. So that's book a flight. Last one is exit Mercury action. You can see it called exit Mercury action of Mercury registration test. So another thing I like to show you, before that, I like to show you. So again, we worked on this piece and this object repository. So you might ask, where is object repository? Again, you can go to script and let's just select login here and go to resources, object repository. You will see, oops, I don't know why it's not showing. 1 second. Resources, object repository. So you can see this is the object repository for login. You see sign in object, password, username. This is the object repository, expected objects in object repository, which is like internal UFT database to store expected objects properties. Login. What about book a flight? We go to book a flight. Let's go to object repository. And you can see this is for book a flight actions, all the expected objects. I will not go into each and every of them. These are the expected objects. Now, another thing I like to show you, because this OpenMercury action is calling another OpenMercury action. So this is not a standalone script action. So if you go to object repository for this one, you will see blank. Oops, this is not the right one. It should be blank. There is nothing there. You can see there is no objects here. Same thing for exit Mercury. Let's double click that. And if you go to exit Mercury action, and you will see there is nothing here because it's calling exit markery of this one. But if you open this one and go to object repository, you should see objects, because you can see there's objects here. There are objects. So again, this is it for today. And 1 second. I wanted to go back to the document again to recap what we did today. We worked on this script and we built this object repository. We have not worked on this data table yet, not this data table for first two scripts. We'll work on it next two lessons. So this is lesson number 8, I believe. Lesson number 9, we'll build this piece and point a script to this data source. Same thing, we'll build this piece and enhance the script to point to this data table. So in the next lesson, we'll enhance the first script that we built and remove the hard-coded data and point the script to this data source to retrieve the data. Thank you so much for watching it. I hope you liked it. I hope to see you in the next lesson. Thank you. Take care.